Steroids are a high-stakes showdown of genius and skill. Winning isn't luck, it's like being a gladiator. The cost of failure is immense, but many are unprepared to step into the arena, choosing to operate from fear, never progressing dosages, living in confusion. It's all guesswork, but that's because nobody has shown you the cheat codes, how to level up safely, unharmed. It's time to learn the secrets of the woke elites. But hold up, Maverick, this is a safety check, not a launch command. Safety first is always the ticket to a smooth mission. Jason Bourne does not rely on luck. He reads the situation, calculates his moves, and implements his plans strategically. And when using steroids, razor-sharp precision and in-depth knowledge is essential, as mastering and deploying optimal protocols will ensure solid health levels throughout a cycle, as what you do from the start will massively affect the journey overall. However, when your approach is based on guesswork, steroids will obliterate your health and shatter your ambitions. So let's break down the game of steroids. We need to understand the terrain, the weapons, the strategy, the power-ups, and finally, the end game. Never roll the dice if you are not ready. Welcome to the battlefield. The body is the terrain. To navigate safely, the lay of the land is required. And that is where baseline blood work comes in. Now imagine if Tony Stark gave you his suit for the day. Avengers is actually a documentary. It's a true story. You wouldn't just jump into the Iron Man armor without a systems check. The same goes for your body pre-cycle. But what exactly are we checking though? If you need to know more about this baseline blood work, I've done a full video on this, so I recommend you check that out. Or if you didn't want to watch that because it's a bit boring, you could jump out of an aeroplane and not check your parachute. Risky business. In any case, the biomarkers will give us a clear picture of that hormonal landscape, which specifically guides you on what compounds to use. When I started my cycle, my estrogen was a little bit high, so I added in Primo to my starting TRT dose. This wasn't at a 2-to-1 ratio, it was at a 1-to-1 ratio because I knew my estrogen was at 61. If things had been different and my estrogen was at 31, I would have done a different ratio of the Primo to test. It would have been 2 test, 1 Primo. Once you have your blood work results in, it's time to deploy some Hulk juice. I like to see each compound as a weapon in your arsenal, and knowing your shit on this stuff is crucial for victory. But wait, how do you select the right weapons for this battle? And what makes one compound better than another? Let's start with the big picture of all the compounds. So imagine a family tree with 3 main branches: the testosterones, the DHTs, and the 19 NORs. Random selection is what we want to avoid. Specific selection is how winning is done, which is based on 6 factors. Ask yourself, will one or stacking in a combo make your estrogen go up or down? If you don't know this and you get it all wrong, you could turn from the Hulk to Bruce Banner mid-battle, and we all know Banner is an absolute Do you know how long each compound you're deploying takes to work? How quickly will it affect serum E2 levels and the other biomarkers that are all in the mix? Some compounds are like a sprint, quick and intense. Others are like a marathon, slow to build. Generally, the longer acting compounds need the most experience. How well tolerated are they on your specific health levels? Are there any underlying genetic health issues that you do not know about that are sitting in your blood work, waiting to get triggered because you've added in the wrong stuff? And if a compound is not tolerated, you're going to know about it fast. It's going to appear in physical reality through side effects. Never add in compounds that are going to be risky. It goes without saying. Are the compounds that you've selected legit, and fully dosed. Because it's extremely frustrating to realise that after 2 or 3 weeks on a cycle, you're on fake gear. It's like spending thousands on a designer bag, only to find out that it's a knockoff. Each administration method has its own speed of delivery for optimal use. Orals are the express lane, while most injectables take the scenic route, as the idea is to choose wisely based on how you want to manipulate your serum estradiol levels each month. What is the potency of each compound in your stack? As remember, even though a bazooka might sound and look cool, sometimes all you need is a trusty firearm. And if you do want to go for something potent, always deploy minimum effective dosage. Things can always be increased down the road. Now you know the principles behind selecting the right weapons. How does one craft the perfect battle plan? Next up, we're looking at cycle design and why strategy is everything. This is where someone can either shine as a hero or crash to zero. A full strategy is chiseled in stone. Every dosage is static, with the whole cycle being planned out beforehand. Now, unless you've got a crystal ball and you know what your blood work is like in the future, this is a recipe for disaster, because you might have HCG planned at week 8, but at that point your estrogens hit 65. You add the HCG in, you've just increased your chance of all these side effects. The choice of compound will depend on the side effect profiles of the different drugs. These juice bombs will increase water retention, giving the user that top tier maxed out with muscle appearance. Glycogen stores will be fully loaded, creating an impressive 3D look. However, if a leaner physique is desired, these shred enhancers are perfect for reducing intracellular water, helping the individual achieve sharp vein definition and a chiseled appearance. Bloating will be minimal and the muscle detail will be highlighted. But let's remind ourselves, more is not always better. You put too much fuel on a fire, it may burn brighter for a moment, but the flames are going to burn out a lot quicker. To avoid this, we need a great support system. So how do we maximize those power-ups and stop those health levels dropping each month?
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
I would never touch gear without first arming myself with the best supplements and ancillaries for the cycle. It's like Cap, Captain America, trying to fight without his shield. He's alright without it, but with it, he's invincible. Some guys just focus on the gear and the compounds, and then when they do decide to get blood work, it reveals some scary numbers, as once it's on paper, it becomes painfully real. Here's a few prime examples. ALT and AST shoot up. Hematocrit goes over the range, the cholesterol goes from bad to worse, blood pressure's elevated, skin starts to get oily with a few outbreaks on the back, and sleep, which used to be hit or miss, is dreadful. Now the experienced guys, they stay calm. They know exactly how to get the health markers back into the right range, while still making steroid-fueled progress. However, the guesswork boys, they immediately panic and are overwhelmed with anxiety. From here they go cold turkey and all their problems escalate. They experience hormonal crashes, severe fatigue. Welcome to hell. It's funny to me because all these little problems are sorted very easily. So here's the lowdown on what to do. For liver support, milk thistle and NAC. These are going to keep those liver enzymes in check, and also consider a deload week. Look for some blood thinners. You have IP6, ARBs, baby aspirins. Lower the iron intake and also manage your vitamin C. This is going to drop the hematocrit levels. For the cholesterol, avoid egg yolks. Add red yeast rice and potentially find some ezetimibe. This is very strong though, so it will be used intermittently. For blood pressure, ubiquinol, Cialis, telmisartan, magnesium glycinate. These will all help lower blood pressure, but also it will be around cleaning up the diet and avoiding too much sodium. And for skincare, zinc, avoiding dairy, add some evening primrose oil. Vitamin B will remove the oiliness. However, acne is mainly hormone related. Now, if you need more tips with on-cycle health and performance aids, go ahead and check out my 6-month cycle video where I used a lot of supplements and ancillaries to stay side effect free. Health levels have been powered up. But how do you know if you're truly on course to win the game? Welcome to the endgame. If you want to win, think of understanding how to manipulate your E2 levels as your final boss, and stimulating the first month of the cycle is going to help you learn this very quickly. Now we're just going to focus on E2 levels. There's a lot involved, but let's just keep it simple for now. The results come back and we're at 25 picograms. That means we will need a slightly dominant estrogen approach. So here's an example stack to start with. This combo is going to push estrogen levels up, with the HCG and MPP kicking in first. Then, to keep those estrogen levels skyrocketing over 50 picograms, we'll add in a DHT like Primo or Mastron in a 2-to-1 ratio versus those estrogen creating compounds. This will keep everything in check and things will be fine after the first month. Then from there, you just follow the principles and guidelines that I lay out in most of my videos on the channel. And the goal is to titrate enough with no side effects to find your sweet spot dosage. The truth is, adjusting without data or experience, it would be like investing your hard-earned cash and not looking at any financial reports. It's a complete shot in the dark every time you do it. So if you do want to avoid a complete health collapse and have a smooth, steady ride to leveling up, then you can reach out for help and guidance. There's a link below this video, and if you hit that link, I'll get back to you quicker than you can say lean gains. Alright, the next video coming up is about two compounds going head to head. Primo and Mastron. Dr. James, I'm out.